You here?
Hmm.
Good.
I got you.
Good. If you're tuning in for the Columbia American and Spring Hill Little League 12-year-old game, we're going to be a little bit delayed. We'll probably start around 7:15 to 7:20, but you'll see the field as they are currently working on it. But I'll be joined by Coach Lee Williams, and we'll be back here just a little bit. So stay tuned for the game starting in about 15, 20 minutes. And welcome in, everybody, to Columbia American Little League campus for today's 10 or 12-year-old All-Star matchup. I'm Clayton Harris alongside Lee Williams, bringing you tonight's action between the Columbia American 12-year-olds and the Spring Hill Little League 12-year-olds and in what is going to be a best of three-game series. Game one tonight, scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. As you can tell, we're about 13 minutes past the top of the hour, but we'll be getting started here momentarily. But I'm joined now by Mount Pleasant head coach and Little League All-Star head coach, Lee Williams. How's it going, Lee?
Good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I'm a big crowd here tonight. You guys played last week. We covered your game, and you guys obviously came up a little bit short, but I mentioned on the broadcast you guys were mostly 9-year-olds and playing a team that was mostly 10s, and I think you guys will probably be in their spot next year and competing for a championship. So
yeah, good valuable experience. I was proud of my 9-year-olds.
That's great. And I know you got to be a proud papa too. Your son Maddox was out there, and we were able to cover him, and he did a great job over at second base. And it's hard to believe, man, that they're already in the majors.
No kidding, man. He's growing up in front of me fast.
Aaron Davis is on the mound for Spring Hill Little League. He'll face Houston Legg, the leadoff batter for Columbia American. 1-1 count here to Legg. As Spring Hill will be the home team tonight. That ball is going to be hit down the first base line. It's going to be picked up in fair territory, and the play will be made at first base for out number one. As a great play there by the pitcher. We'll go back and look at the replay.
Got to cover a lot of ground there.
He did that and barely picked the ball up in time before it went foul. As the first pitch to Lake Lamb is going to be outside for ball one. And if you think that name sounds familiar, it is. His father, who Lee, you coached with, Coach Paul Lamb, as Lamb hits one to right field for a single to get things going here in the top of the first inning for the Columbia American 12s. But his father, Paul Lamb, you see over there at first base, one of the assistant coaches and coach at Battle Creek High School. And Lee, you and Paul coached together quite a long time.
Yeah, 6 years at Spring Hill High School. I'll tell you, he's one of the best in the business for sure.
Has won a state championship. As the pitch to Hunter Marisette goes up for ball number one. Pitch is going to be hit hard past the shortstop. Lamb around second. He'll head to third. Jason Cox will send him home, and no play will be made at the plate as Columbia American takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
Marisette runs pretty good for his size.
He does. We'll go back and look at the replay of that. Just a hard hit ball.
Yeah,
you're right, Lee. He's moving.
Yeah, he smoked that ball too.
And that's going to bring up the lefty, Steve Harden. Cleanup batter, swung on and missed for strike number one as the ball is going to get past the catcher, and Marisette will move over to third base. So one out here in the top of the first inning, 1-0 Columbia. That ball is going to be fouled off for strike number two.
Pitcher for Spring Hill seems like he's going to work fast.
And that ball's hit hard foul down the first base line. As we mentioned, the pitcher is number 19, Aaron Davis. Your first baseman will be Samuel Davis, number 23. There's the pitch outside. That ball's driven, and it is out of here. Steve Harden drives one to left center field. And a 2-run home run gives Columbia a 3-0 lead here early in the top of the first inning. And we'll go back and look at that one.
The view from here looked like he had to go down and get that ball. That's just pure strength right there.
It sure was. He just drove that thing out of the ballpark for a 2-run home run. And Columbia extends the lead to 3-0. First pitch to Landon Andrews, hit to the right fielder and called for out number two as Lawson Gray makes the catch. And 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Here's Xavier Webster. He hits one deep to center field and back against the wall. And Webster will stand up, and now he'll take off to third. Nobody's there, and he'll stand up going into third. Does Xavier Webster here with 2 outs in the bottom or the top of the first inning. And we'll look at the replay. Just a hard hit ball to center field.
Spring Hill's third baseman needed to stay home right there. He's kind of got caught out of position.
He did.
Pay for it.
And we have a foul ball by James Young that nearly hit him. But you're right, Lee. The center fielder out there was Wesley Marthendall for Spring Hill. Just wasn't able to corral it. So a runner on third with 2 outs and a 3-0 game as James Young looks to add to the Columbia American lead.
Spring Hill has their center fielder shifted way right here. Kind of more at the right center gap.
And you can see it on the video. You're right. He really is. As the ball's hit over to third, thrown across, and out number 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the first inning, but Columbia strikes first. They lead Spring Hill 3-0. We'll be back right after this.
Don Pepe's, best Mexican food and margaritas in town, fresh from scratch and served sizzling at your table. We welcome everyone, including large parties up to 60 people. Private room, outdoor patio, full bar, fresh guac at your table. Come enjoy a taste of Mexico. Don Pepe's Mexican Grill, 2 locations to serve you. 1202 South James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia and 1203 Murfreesboro Road in Franklin. Don Pepe's, the new taste of Mexican food.
This is David Usselton with Usselton Automotive, located in Columbia, Tennessee. We service all foreign and domestic vehicles. We take pride in our work, and we don't cut corners. We offer a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty and loan our cars with almost every repair. We are located at 1201 South High Street in Columbia, Tennessee. You can reach us at 931-215-1765 or find more information at usseltons.com.
Bypass Deli, 1806 Shady Brook Street in Columbia. All fresh American food. We hand pat our patties daily so you can enjoy the best burgers in town. Come enjoy anything from our outdoor patio to a burger paired with a cold beer to a Reuben or even our ice cream floats and everything in between. Voted Muletown's best burgers. That's Bypass Deli, 1806 Shady Brook Street. Bypass Deli, serving Columbia since 1966.
And welcome back, everybody, to Murray County Park on the campus of Columbia American Little League for District 8 12-year-old All-Stars as Spring Hill is trying to get back into this ball game here in the bottom of the first inning. Columbia with a 3-0 lead. And leading things off for Spring Hill is number 8, Henry Bennett. On the mound for Columbia will be number 10, Landon Andrews. And Lee, what a start for Columbia in the top of the first inning.
Seems like their game plan was to come out swinging, being aggressive, and it paid off for them.
And quickly down in the count, 1-2 is Henry Bennett. Ball's low, evens the count at 2. Was that a swing and a miss? I had my head down, or was that a called strike? I didn't see it.
It was a swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. And 1 out here
Andrews throws it pretty well.
As number 23, Samuel Davis, up to bat for the Spring Hill 12-year-olds. First pitch called strike.
I believe if I'm Spring Hill here, I'm just going to be aggressive and have the same game plan. Don't want to get behind in the count.
Absolutely not. As the second pitch comes in outside for strike number 2. So Bennett's down in the count 0-2 here. As the 8th pitch thrown by Andrews is strike number 3. And 2 away here for Columbia American. Now stepping up to bat now for Spring Hill will be number 12, Rylan Tomlinson. Second baseman. First pitch is a ball. Lee, we got some exciting stuff to talk about tonight because me and you talked the other day as the pitch comes in for strike number 1. We're going to broadcast y'all's Independence Day tournament next weekend. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, man.
You want to tell the listeners about that? We talked about it actually yesterday on the radio and talked about it a little bit this morning just to tell people what was going on during the Independence Day weekend. And, you know, you have 2 games at Columbia State that night and also out of Mount Pleasant High School.
Right. So July 4th, 5th, and 6th is the Independence Day Classic for American Legion Columbia Post-19. It's an annual tournament that we have. We will be hosting 4 games Friday and Saturday at Mount Pleasant. And 4 games each day at Columbia State, and then championship and semifinals and championship will be at Columbia State on Sunday. So,
and there's 8 teams coming, and I noticed that there's some teams from really just kind of all around the Southeast, and even out. I saw a team from Oklahoma. Is that right?
Yeah, this is like this tournament attracts some really good teams.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see your Tupelo's, Mississippi's, and Pontotoc, Mississippi. Those teams are always well coached and always have some great players. Tupelo has a lot of kids that play at the next level, Division I.
And I saw Owensboro. I'm thinking that's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Probably has a team that I saw they were in the tournament as well, and maybe a team from Charleston. I'm assuming that's West Virginia or South Carolina. I'm not really sure.
South Carolina.
Okay.
Yep, South Carolina.
Wow. Well, that's great. Look, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come out, we're going to talk more about that Independence Day tournament. But right now, as we head to the second inning, it's Columbia American leading Spring Hill 3-0. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, this is Rick Tillis from Tillis Jewelry. What is a full-service jeweler? Experienced staff, custom designers, in-house jewelry repairs, and beautiful jewelry. Yes, at Tillis Jewelry, we are passionate, knowledgeable, and committed to integrity. We strive to be the best in our community and in our profession. We build long-term relationships and become part of family traditions that will cross generations. We delight clients by providing an unparalleled selection, superior service, and exceptional value. Tillis Jewelry, we exceed your expectations.
And welcome back, everybody, as we are about to begin the top of the second inning as Columbia American leads Spring Hill 3-0. And Lee, we were talking about before we went to break that Independence Day tournament. You got that schedule as number 21 Gunnar Potts is going to step up to bat for Columbia. First pitch swung and missed for strike number 1.
So action on July the 4th at Columbia State starts at 1 p.m. between Charleston and Pontotoc.
And where's Pontotoc from?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it starts at noon on July the 4th at Mount Pleasant High School between the Columbia Post-19 junior team and Tupelo.
Okay.
So
that's a hard hit ball by Gunnar Potts is going to land after one bounce and caught by the left fielder, and that's a single to start things off here in the top of the second for Gunnar Potts. Go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
No, what I was going to say is also Huntsville Post 237 will be in this tournament as well.
Saw that, yes.
And they always have a good team. They're a scrappy bunch usually.
So how does Legion Ball work for the listeners out there at home that you know, it's been around for such a long time. You guys have a state tournament coming up in July, and then what happens post-state? You know, you guys have won state several times. What happens after state?
So for the 17U division, it just ends at the state
Okay.
level. But for the 19U division,
It's a hard hit ball, excuse me, but Stein is hit to left field. It bounces off the wall, and rounding third is Gunnar Potts, and he will score after a missile hit by Nayland Stein.
I believe that ball put a dent in the advance sign out there.
It sure did. And a stand-up double adds to the Columbia lead as they lead 4-0 now here in the top of the second. But my apologies. So 19U is the one that advances after state.
Right. So 19U after state, they have a Southeast region or a Mid-South region, whichever one we're in each year. Something it switches back and forth. And then they also have the World Series as well. You know, Columbia Post 19 won it in 2007.
That's what I remembered that. As a pop fly by Brody Cox is going to be caught right against the fence and tagging up, and the ball comes out. As we'll look at the replay, is Stein tagged up. The umpire couldn't see it, but I think home plate would have backed him up there. He's going to be safe as you see the ball come in. He originally called him out, but then he noticed the ball was on the ground. So a runner on third with one out, and Lucas Waters will step up to the batter's box for Columbia.
Samuel Davis, the first baseman for Spring Hill. That's a nice catch right there running to the fence.
Attempted bunt gets past the catcher, and that will bring in another run to extend the Columbia lead to 5-0. One out here in the top of the second. Lucas Waters with a 1-1 count. He fouled off. So that's going to be exciting. What's the admission price?
It'll be $8 a day.
$8 a day?
Yeah, or you could buy a weekend pass, and don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what price that'll be.
Okay.
So,
well, that's a good option to have, and you're going to be playing on your home field down in Mount Pleasant, which has got that brand new, beautiful turf.
We are. We're going to use it as a fundraiser for the high school baseball program. So
that's great. As that pitch is going to be fouled up by Wyatt Clemenshaw, and that will be out number 3. But yeah, I mean, so you'll have that. You're also at Columbia State. So there's no excuse not to go watch some good baseball here in Columbia, in Murray County.
What's there better to do on July 4th weekend than America's pastime, baseball?
I got a sneaky suspicion too, Lee, that if you're at that Columbia State game, and even in Mount Pleasant, I don't know, is Mount Pleasant doing fireworks this year?
Yes.
Okay, because they've been doing all that construction downtown. They always have a great fireworks show. They did, and I know that downtown construction kind of delayed some things, but there's a chance that either one of those facilities, there's a chance you'll see some fireworks shooting off post-game, especially over here at Columbia State, which is on the other side of the hill of Murray County Park.
For sure. Yeah, you should be able to.
As Thomas Harris is going to squeeze by and knock the camera around.
Yes, you are.
As we are going to begin the bottom of the second inning. But, yeah, Lee, that's going to be exciting, and we're all looking forward to that. And
yeah, if the locals want to find some good baseball, American Legion baseball is some of the best. It was travel baseball before travel baseball was cool.
That's right. That's right. That's a great analogy. As the first pitch to number 19, Aaron Davis, is swung on a miss for strike number 1. As Landon Andrews still on the mound for Columbia. Second pitch is going to be low and away for ball 1. So, who coaches your 19-year-old, Tim?
Colt Williams is the head coach this season.
Okay. Yeah. And y'all got I'm sure they've been playing quite a bit this summer, I'd imagine, as Pop Fly is going to be backtracked and caught by Lake Lamb at shortstop for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, they have. They just recently got back from Tupelo. They went to Tupelo for the weekend, played in the tournament there. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Tupelo is this weekend. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, Tupelo is this weekend. Yeah.
So a little warm up before the big Independence Day tournament.
Right.
Now, how many post teams would you say participate across the state of Tennessee, or Legion teams?
This year we had 14. Yeah,
Wow.
and that's between 15s, 17s, and 19s. We got 14 registered.
That's great. I mean, how does that compare to past years? I know it probably there's ups and downs as Wesley Marthadal.
Well, we have American Legion Baseball has a new baseball chairman, commander, this season, and he's doing a really good job of trying to pull teams. One of my suggestions is at the junior level, which is 17 and under, that we should really try to focus more towards like maybe getting some high school teams involved in the summer, where they have a high summer season.
Absolutely. As that's going to be hit to Lamb. He'll throw it over to Clemenshaw for out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. As you see it hit over there to shortstop as number 13. For Spring Hill. Just give me just a second to pull that up. That's Lucas Davis, third baseman, for ball 1. Now, how many years have you been involved with Post 19?
So I took over the junior team in 2008.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a year after the senior team won the World Series. So when you get a call from Mickey McKeel after winning the World Series asking you if you want to take over the junior program, you feel like there's some high expectations there. But I was pretty much in the dugout every day, every season through 2019. And then as my kids began to play more, I kind of took a step back and just kind of done more of a director's role for the program. Getting everything organized, schedules made, uniforms, helping recruit a little bit, getting the kids on the team, those types of things. But yes, I've been involved since 2008.
I saw your current junior coach here, actually over there to the right, Maverick James.
Yeah, I see him. I'm looking at him right now.
He's been great. He's a good guy. I've really just started to get to know him a little bit, and he's a good one.
Yeah, he's standing down there with my boss right now, and they must be talking about me because they're both up here looking and laughing. But yeah, Maverick's a good guy. He actually played for me in 2015, and he's pretty passionate about it. He wants to be involved, and he was assistant coach last year, and then he's had the opportunity this year to step into the head coach's role. And he's learning on the fly, and but he's doing a good job. I think the kids enjoy playing for him.
So we got him and your boss in that shot there. They'll go back and see this, talking to Bob Kerr. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
Yeah. I'd like to be down there just to know what they said.
Speaking of Kerr, Steel Kerr up to bat for Spring Hill. And he'll swing and miss for strike 1, a 2-1 count. Pitch from Andrews will be low. It'll even the count at 2.
We got a ball on the field in right field.
We sure do.
They always side wiffle ball game at Columbia American Little League. The famous wall ball.
Famous wall ball. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 2. So full count here for Steel Kerr. Landon Andrews will throw his 31st pitch. And that'll be a ball number 4. So runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Lee, are you keeping Wayne Lindsey straight?
He's been on vacation for about 2 weeks, so I hadn't seen him.
You're telling me he didn't wait till the dead period?
No, he left me before the dead period got over with. So, yeah, him and his family went to Washington, D.C.
Now that's a place to be.
Yeah, I believe they returned on yesterday. So,
the pitch is going to be inside for ball number 1.
And he went to Gulf Shores right before that. So,
man,
he's just been vacating all summer. I think the Gulf Shores trip was for baseball, though.
That's right. They were down there, as that pitch is going to hit the outside corner for strike number 2 to Lawson Gray, the right fielder. 1-2 pitch outside. Gets past the catcher. Runners will advance. It's a second and third.
Spring Hill come up with a base hit right here. They could cut into this Columbia lead some.
Could make it interesting for sure.
For sure. I think for Spring Hill to stay in this game, they're going to have to score right now because Columbia's bats are definitely hot.
And there's the pitch swung on and missed for strike number 3 by Lawson Gray as we head to the third inning. So after 2, Columbia leads 5-0 over Spring Hill. We'll take a quick timeout and be back right after this.
We at Hollins Pharmacy must be doing something right. We've been providing pharmaceutical services in the Middle Tennessee area for over 60 years. The guiding principles of our business are fast, accurate, friendly, personal service. We do not have long waiting lines and our phone calls are answered by a staff member. We strive to get to know our customers by name, not just a date of birth or number. We are your locally owned hometown pharmacy and we appreciate your business. We urge you to come visit us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane here in Columbia.
Columbia Foodland is a locally owned and operated family grocery store with a full line of dry, dairy, frozen, meat, and produce items. We focus on keeping the freshest hand-cut meat and produce items daily with the most competitive prices in town. We offer weekly ad specials as well as in-store weekly specials throughout the store. Located at 427 West 7th Street in Columbia in the former Harris Foodland location. Columbia Foodland. We are here and ready to serve the wonderful people of Columbia and the surrounding areas.
And welcome back, everybody, to Murray County Park on the campus of Columbia American Little League. I'm Clayton Harris alongside Lee Williams, bringing you District 8 12-year-old action in a best-of-3 game series between Columbia American and Spring Hill Little Leagues. As Cutler Thurman will step into the batter's box for Columbia American. He's one of 2 11-year-olds on the roster, himself along with Luke Lamb. For Columbia American is the first pitch by number 19, Aaron Davis, goes outside for ball number 1. Hard hit ball down the right side. And that'll be a base hit for Thurman.
Good piece of hitting by Thurman right there. He was up on the plate, took an outside pitch that way.
Look at the replay here. And you're right, just a really good job there. Hard hit ground ball between first and second. And Houston Legg will bring us back to the top of the order for Columbia American as the first pitch from Davis is high for ball number 1. And that's a hard hit ball to left center field. And that is going back against the wall. Thurman round second. He's headed to third and he'll hold up there. And a double for number 16, Houston Legg, off the wall. Thurman had to hold up to make sure it wasn't called.
Columbia's rung that fence 2 or 3 times now, besides the home run also.
So 2 on with no outs here, top of the third. Pitch is going to be low and away for ball 1 as Luke Lamb, with 2 runners in scoring position, comes to the plate for Columbia. Pitch is going to be high for ball number 2. Lamb, the shortstop, looking to add to the Columbia lead as the pitch by Davis is outside for a ball, and quickly a 3-0 count here to Lamb. Pitch is going to be inside ball number 4.
I thought maybe Jason Cox would give him the green light right there to swing, but I don't think he got the pitch to do so.
And that's going to load the bases, Lee, for number 17, Hunter Marisette.
This could be trouble for Spring Hill.
And unfortunately for them, it doesn't get any better with Steve Harden on deck with no outs.
No.
And there's a pop fly. Infield fly is in effect. And that'll be out number 1.
Mertz just a little too anxious there, I think.
He was excited.
Yeah,
he was definitely excited.
But he's definitely got the potential to drive it into the trees.
And speaking of driving them into the trees, here comes big Steve Harden, who last time hit a missile, just a line drive out to right center. Looking to do damage here in the top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back for strike 1.
Yeah, you want to hit your location with Steve up to bat, for sure.
Here's Aaron Day, pitcher for Spring Hill. That one gets away from him outside, and that will allow Thurman to come in and score run number 6. So go back and look at the replay here. Pitch just misses way outside there. Thurman's able to get in time.
Doesn't look like Spring Hill wants to give him much to hit. They're gonna try to stay away from him as much as they can, which is probably a good idea.
Well, they got an empty spot for him now too over there.
Right.
Six to nothing, Columbia leads. That pitch is going to go outside for ball number 3. So a 3-1 count here for Harden.
Walk here wouldn't be the worst thing.
And they're going to give him a strike. Steve swings, and that's going to go out of play, foul ball, which will make the count full. But I agree, Lee. A walk here is not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially open, first base open.
Which is no disrespect to Landon Andrews, who hit one to the fence last time as well, as that one's going to be in there for ball 4. And again, bases loaded now with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning in a 6-0 game. And this is dangerous territory for Spring Hill. His time's going to be called. And Lee, this is just one of those situations where Columbia's just hit the ball well.
Yeah, they just attacked it. You know, anything that he threw up there, they've barreled up pretty good. They've hit a lot of balls in the gaps, up against the fence. Steve hit the home run. Columbia's just being really aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, it's not like he's walking a bunch of guys in or anything like that. They're just Columbia's just hit the ball.
Yeah, and it's not like his defense is letting him down either. Like I said, Columbia's, I don't know what, probably 7 or 8 base hits by now.
Absolutely. I'll have to pull up the game changer during the break and get those stats. We have 1 out here as number 10, Landon Andrews, the pitcher for Columbia American, will step up to the batter's box. First pitch will be ball 1. Pitch from Davis, a line drive hit down the right field line that's going to bounce against the wall again. That's going to score 1 run. Here comes the 2nd run and a stand-up double from Landon Andrews extends the Columbia lead to 8-0.
Thought that ball had a chance.
It did. And that's the second one he's hit off the fence. As we'll go back and look at the replay, just outside, drives it to the right field. He thought he wasn't running very hard when he took off the first, so I think he thought it was gone too, but it hits the wall.
Yeah.
Still brings in 2 runs, though, as number 44, Xavier Webster, will step up to the batter's box. He doubled his last time up. And he gets ahead 1-0. Pitch from Davis will be fouled off for strike 1. It'll even the count.
Columbia's lineup has a mix of some, big, strong kids and some really athletic-looking kids.
Hard hit ball down the right field line goes foul for strike 2.
We'll have to have Paul Lamb to make a play on that ball there.
Yeah. Him and Jeremy Haywood both went for it. Weren't able to get it, as a 1-2 pitch to Webster is going to be swung on and fouled off. And he'll stay alive here with runners at 3rd and 2nd. And 1 out, top of the third. Hard hit ball towards second. It'll score a run. And Webster's going to beat it out and be safe at first base. Just a great job there by Webster, as the Spring Hill second baseman never charged the baseball, and it allowed Webster to get on first. And now we have a time called, and now a pitching change will have to be made. And again, not really anything the pitcher did wrong. He just Columbia's hitting the ball hard, and right there, unfortunately, second base wasn't able to get the out in time. They'll have runners at the corner with 1 out. We'll have a pitching change, and we'll take a timeout and be back right after this.
This is Hal Landers, owner of Landers Insurance Agency. We are an independent agency representing the famous Erie Insurance Group. Landers Insurance Agency has been committed to providing great rates and great service since 2002. Whether it's home and auto or business or life insurance, we've got you covered. 24/7 in-house claim service, we've got that too. Visit Landers Insurance at 514 North Garden Street, Columbia. Call us at 931-380-2003. Our website is landersinsuranceagency.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Office space available in beautiful downtown Columbia. Kennedy Broadcasting Company, WKRM and WKOM, has 3 offices for rent in its downtown building. Each office is approximately 18 by 18, and each includes a closet-type storage area. Included are utilities, Wi-Fi, and communal break area. Contact Station Manager Clayton Harris at 931-626-3131.
He interested in doing that too?
And welcome back, everybody, as we're about to begin the bottom, or actually we're still in the top of the third inning, as we have a pitching change for Spring Hill in a 9-0 ball game. As I need to adjust my score, and there we put it up there on the board.
So we have, this is number 12, Ryland Tomlinson.
Right, yeah,
for Spring Hill. Is that what you got?
Ryland Tomlinson, yes, sir. That's it. And it's Ryland's turn to see what he can do, as number 1, James Young, will step up to the plate. With 1 out, runners on the corner, he'll show bunt as the third baseman charges. That one's outside, and Webster will move to second with runners at third and second, and they're not going to pay attention. The ball's going to get away, and Webster rounds third. And let's go back and look at that as run number 10 crosses the plate. You saw
caught Spring Hill sleeping there.
That's it. There it is. You see the pitcher doesn't even see what's happening as he'll come in and score, as the umpire nearly got hit by the ball. And runner now at third base. And a 1-0 count to Young. Pitch comes inside for ball 2. I think it's what, a 15-run rule limit in the third inning, and then it's 10 after 4.
I believe it's just 10 after 4 for tournament play, correct?
I don't think so.
Is it 15?
It wasn't a few years ago. So yeah, this will be interesting. Pitch from Tomlinson is going to come in high for ball number 3, and again a delayed steal, and he's saved.
Webster definitely has some wheels on him.
Yes, he does. We'll look at the replay again here. 3-1 count as the ball came in high for ball 3. Webster just took off after the catcher threw the ball back to the pitcher. Slides in there for run number 11. And that will be ball number 4 to James Young. It's 1 runner own with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning, as number 21, Gunnar Potts, steps up to the plate. And Gunnar, the last time up, hit one to the wall and left. Here's the pitch from Tomlinson. Bunt being shown by Potts. He'll pull back for a ball, as you had Young stealing second base.
Doesn't look like Columbia's going to let up any. They're going to stay aggressive for sure.
Well, and you hate to do it as that pitch is swung on a miss, but Lee, you know, with these Little League rules and the pitching rules, you almost have to do this to keep guys fresh.
Yeah, save the pitch count where you can for sure.
I mean, it's sad, but it's just kind of the way the rules are set up. As that ball's hit in between shortstop and third, and rounding third and coming home will be James Young for run number 12. We'll go back and look at that. There's a hard hit ball there by Potts. Little bouncer. And that will score Young from second. Columbia American now up 12-0 here with a runner own. Top of the 3rd inning and 1 out. The first pitch to Stein is swung on and missed for strike 1. Now, Lee, you guys are, and I say you guys, talking about Mount Pleasant High Schools, that pitch is fouled off for strike 2, are going to be reclassifying this year. Not in football, but in basketball, baseball, softball. That's got to be exciting because you're going to be renewing a bunch of old rivalries that Mount Pleasant's had for years.
Yeah, we'll get to actually compete against the other Murray County teams now, you know, that's in single A, and that's going to be good. I think it'll be good for all sports, help Mount Pleasant out a little bit. We're looking forward to it. And like I said, you know, get to play against some old friends and make some new friends. And like you said, stir up some of the rivalries too.
And one of those new friends is Eagleville. And we know what they've been capable of over the past couple of years. And there's a Mount Pleasant connection there as well.
Yeah, Brandon's done a great job over there. They've had 4 state championships. Man, he's got a great program going over there. He does a really good job with those kids. We actually went over and played them this season and had them come over and play us since his kid was a senior and wanted to play on Granddad's Field one more time.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. Well, you know, when you get, you know, to get ready for postseason play, man, you got to play good competition like that. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, Brandon does it the right way. He does.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd, or top of the 3rd, excuse me. It feels like we've been in the top of the 3rd inning for the last 30 minutes, which we may be, as Brody Cox comes up to the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd, and that pitch is going to be fouled off for strike 1.
Brody is the son of manager Jason Cox.
Been involved in this league for a long time.
He has.
And, you know, just you and I have had older kids that have come through here, and we got younger kids still here. And it's amazing that Jason is already almost done. I can remember back when he was over at that tiny field to the right of us. That's a hard hit ball by Brody Cox, and that'll be caught by the left fielder for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Columbia American leads Spring Hill 12-0. We'll be back right after this.
Columbia Foodland is a locally owned and operated family grocery store with a full line of dry, dairy, frozen, meat, and produce items. We focus on keeping the freshest hand-cut meat and produce items daily with the most competitive prices in town. We offer weekly ad specials as well as in-store weekly specials throughout the store. Located at 427 West 7th Street in Columbia in the former Harris Foodland location. Columbia Foodland. We are here and ready to serve the wonderful people of Columbia and the surrounding areas.
I'm Justin George.
I'm Corey Muehlbauer.
Together, we are Columbia Motor Company.
Columbia Motor Company offers quality pre-owned vehicles at an affordable price along with many financing options to keep you in your budget.
We are veteran and locally owned. We are located just off of Carmack Boulevard in downtown Columbia. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram or visit our website at columbiamotorcompany.com.
If you want a different and enjoyable car buying experience, please give us the opportunity here at Columbia Motor Company.
Hello, I'm Rick Whitley.
And I'm Daniel Pollard from Jones & Lang Sporting Goods. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the many years of support. Since 1966, Jones & Lang has been locally owned and operated and supplying teams from T-ball to college. Stop by and see what we can do for you. We offer a wide variety of services from silk screening and embroidery to our custom trophy and awards department.
We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. Remember, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
And I'm Michael Parks Lawrence at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
Together, we're Mr. Bobby Parks' grandsons, and we run his dealership, and we are glad to be part of our local community.
Being family owned and operated, we invest heavily in our community.
We do things like sports teams, schools, bands, you name it. We try to help everybody we can.
The reason why we do this is because we all love this community.
So come do business with us, your neighbors, at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee, right off Nashville Highway, or at parksmotorsales.com.
And welcome back, everybody, to Murray County Park for District 8 12-year-old All-Star action between Columbia American and Spring Hill Little League, as Columbia leads 12-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Clayton Harris alongside Lee Williams bringing you action here as Spring Hill looks to try to get something going, as Columbia has just come out crushing the baseball.
Andrews, he just is keeping with the same game plan. He's going to go right at the Spring Hill hitter, see if they can hit it.
0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 3.
You know, he's talking about the Independence Day next week, 4th of July.
Yeah.
We hadn't even said anything about these cool-looking uniforms Columbia's wearing.
Well, you know, during y'all's game the other night, I mentioned something about the blue team's jerseys and their coaching attire, which Hayden Tate really took the patriotic theme to another level. But you're right, Lee. These jerseys down here, I like them too. They're very nice.
You was mentioning Jason, you know, just over on the small field a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
He brought these jerseys back from when he had the 8-year-old All-Star team. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last batter for Spring Hill was number 9, Bennett Wilkie, as Maddox Roberts, the left fielder, number 33, up to bat. He's way ahead in the count 3-0 here against Landon Andrews, who's throwing pitch number 43 on this 3-0 count, in for a strike. As Jeff Whitley is going to call the strike, much to the dismay of the Spring Hill crowd. But he doesn't do it again on ball number 4. And that will put Maddox Roberts on first base. Jeff's a great guy, Lee. I saw him at Bethesda last night umpiring. It's just incredible. He's everywhere.
He's really good at it. He called several high school games for me this season. He does a good job.
Kenneth Sullivan, our new district administrator, doing a great job as, my goodness, Roberts nearly got his head taken off over there by the ball as he wasn't looking. The catcher, Merced, threw it down to Steve Harden. Here's the pitch to number 21, Johnny Miller. That pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1, 1-1 count. One pitch comes in as a strike number 2. Andrews is ahead in the count. That pitch to Miller is going to be high for ball 2, and the runner, Roberts, will advance to second. 2-2 count, 1 out here, bottom of the 3rd. Spring Hill looking for any positive momentum they can get. Pitch swung on and missed for strike number 3 for Johnny Miller. As number 99, McCray Qualls will come up to bat. The catcher for Spring Hill.
Columbia's defense seems to maybe getting a little bored. Hadn't had a lot of action out there yet.
We're nearing the bottom, or we are at the bottom of the Spring Hill lineup. So after Qualls here, we'll be back up to the top of the 1st. But you're right. A lot of hands on their hips, standing around looking. Now they'll be ready as this pitch is swung on and missed, and that'll even the count at 1. Everybody bats in All-Stars now, a rule that they changed about 2 years ago. Little League was tired of, or somebody was tired of listening to parents complain. So they said, you know what? Everybody's going to bat. And that's going to be the new rule. As that pitch comes in, swung and missed. But you're not going to be required to play those defensive 6 outs anymore.
Right. You know, them tight games, it takes a long time to get back to the top of the lineup.
As that pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 3 and out number 3. As we'll go to the 4th inning, Columbia American leads 12-0 over Spring Hill. We'll take a quick timeout and be back right after this.
Hello, I'm Rick Whitley.
And I'm Daniel Pollard from Jones & Lang Sporting Goods. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the many years of support. Since 1966, Jones & Lang has been locally owned and operated and supplying teams from T-ball to college. Stop by and see what we can do for you. We offer a wide variety of services from silk screening and embroidery to our custom trophy and awards department.
We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to noon. Remember, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Mezcal Cochina Mexicana. Delicious food and amazing service at an affordable price. Mezcal Cochina Mexicana. Located off of Nashville Highway in Neapolis, near Spring Hill High School. 2504 Care Lane. Authentic Mexican cuisine. Full menu. Family dine-in. Takeout. Delivery. Offering the best cocktails in the area. On the rocks or frozen, pair your meal with our famous margarita. Don't forget, Mezcal Cochina Mexicana for your next meal. Check us out on Facebook. Visit Mezcal Cochina Mexicana today. Proud supporters of the Front Porch Sports Network.
And welcome back, everybody, to Murray County Park as we are set to begin 4th inning action here as Columbia American leads Spring Hill Little League 12-0. Clayton Harris alongside Lee Williams bringing you action here tonight, as this is one of those innings where, with the score standing as it is right now, Spring Hill can't afford to give up any more runs because they're going to have to score a couple in the bottom of the 4th to extend this game to a 5th inning.
Yeah, if we want to get to the 5th, they got to hold them here and come in and score a few. During the break, Clayton, I was looking around. You know, you can always tell it's the 12-year-old tournament because it just seems to bring out everybody. In the park. But I was kind of thinking back to, I believe it was 2021 summer when you had the 12s.
Yeah.
We had the district here. Man, the park was absolutely electric that night. The first game against Tullahoma.
That was a great year because it was right after COVID. There wasn't All-Stars in 2020, and I really hated for that group that included, you know, Jack Beck and Ethan Richardson and them. That would have been their 12-year-old year. They won the district the year prior over in Tullahoma. But the year you're talking about, the district was divided in East and West, and Columbia had come out the West, Tullahoma came out of the East, and they had a best-of-3 game series here. And you're right, Lee. It came up in my memories not long ago, and I think Jackson Huff, one of his home runs he hit that night with that banjo playing when he was coming up to bat.
Yeah.
That place was wild.
Yeah, it was.
And one of your assistant coaches was having a heck of a time in the outfield out there watching the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a empty seat in the house, and it was plenty of people standing all the way around the field. That's before we put the screen up here.
That's right. That's right.
You could still see through the fence.
As Lucas Waters is the batter for Columbia American, Tomlinson on a 2-0 pitch. Waters will hit it down third, thrown across the diamond, and out is Waters.
Nice stretch there by the Spring Hill first baseman to reach out there and get that ball for his third baseman, help him out a little bit there.
You see it right there. Great job.
This kind of start Spring Hill needed for this inning if they land to play a little longer tonight.
And it's really, like we talked about, hadn't been any major miscues on defense or anything. It's just that Columbia's made plays, as you see, a pop fly and out number 2 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, the Columbia bats have been so hot. Spring Hill, they hadn't made mistakes. Mm-hmm. Their pitchers have pitched the contact, and Columbia's just hit the ball really well.
That last batter was Wyatt Clemenshaw. He pops out for out number 2 as Cutler Thurman will step up to the plate. And that's another kid that you and I both have coached over the years. You had him in coach pitch, and I've had him the last couple of years in the majors, and he's just an 11-year-old playing with the 12s.
Yeah, always been really talented.
Cutler's going to get ahead in the count 2-0 here as number 12, Rylan Tomlinson, is on the mound now for Spring Hill. Here's a ball hit to short. It's going to be picked up and bobbled, and Cutler will get on first with no problem. And so now a runner on. So we'll go back and look at the replay. A runner on now with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. And back to the top of the order we go to Houston Legg.
Yeah, this is the dangerous part of the Columbia American lineup, which I think most of the lineup is pretty dangerous.
First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1 as Thurman is now going to try to get to third, and he will. And we'll look at the replay of that one. He stole second. The ball's going to get away. He takes off. And lucky he didn't get thrown out at third, but he gets there with 2 outs here and a 0-1 count to Houston Legg. Pitch from Tomlinson inside and get away from the catcher, and Thurman will come in and score as Columbia will extend their lead to 13-0. I was asked earlier today about what this was going to look like. And I was honest with you. I really didn't know because I hadn't seen Spring Hill. But when you look at the leagues compared to each other,
just foul.
As a hard hit line drive by Legg will go just left of the foul pole. Spring Hill's got 600 kids in their league. They're bigger than Columbia's. Columbia's under 600, somewhere in the 5s.
Right, yeah.
So what we've seen really, and I explained this to some folks, and they didn't know this, but, this league is called Columbia American because there used to be a national league in this town. And years ago, and I say years ago, about 20 years ago, they decided, some genius over there decided, we're going to get rid of National League. We're going to join Cal Ripken. And in 2018, Cal Ripken, which at the time I grew up in the National League, my oldest son was at Cal Ripken, and we shut it down as a drop third strike is going to allow Legg to get on as he gets hit in the back. But they shut down Cal Ripken and merged with Columbia American. And Lee, prior to that 2021 district title for the 12-year-olds, it had been since 2007 since Columbia American had won a district.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah. So, the talent had been split. Tullahoma Spring Hill dominated. And since 2021, Columbia's dominated. And look what happened. Tullahoma I'm going to go on and say it, and if they're out there listening, they can deny it all they want to. They tucked their tail and ran the Cal Ripken because they couldn't compete with Columbia anymore.
Yeah, these of course, I'm going to always favor Little League.
I'm right there with you.
And these communities jumping out of Little League, it's kind of sad, honestly. I still think Little League's the strongest youth baseball organization there is.
But it stood the test of time.
Yeah. And you going back to talking about Columbia National, you talk about a rivalry. Columbia American, Columbia National.
Absolutely.
Man, some great all-star games.
And great talent in both leagues.
Yeah.
This is back when you played in the league based on your address. You were zoned for one league or the other.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And I remember when they first started doing interleague play, which was a big deal when they first started, or when they did it when I was playing, which meant teams would come over here and play some teams, and some teams would come over there and play. And the Columbia teams used to battle it out in districts to get to state.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just I guess it's a good thing now that we essentially have one league in town. I know we have two, but I would say, the majority, if you look at the numbers of kids playing youth baseball in Columbia, 90% of them are here.
Right. Yeah.
But I tell you what we do need. We need more youth baseball fields in this county.
Absolutely.
I know we got plenty of softball fields. We need more baseball fields for the youth in this county. And what I don't get, they bring in so much tax revenue and money to the cities and the counties, to the small businesses and the restaurants that host these tournaments. And with our proximity sitting right between Nashville and Huntsville, we're absolutely crazy not to have one.
Yeah, this would be a perfect location for some more baseball fields here in the county. I if I misspeak here, I apologize, but I have heard that it's been said that baseball does not generate any money. Youth baseball does not generate any money, but
that's not true.
That's not true.
That is 100% not true.
Ridley Park has tons of softball tournaments throughout the year, and baseball could do the exact same thing.
Exact same thing. That is correct. As the first pitch to Lake Lamb will be outside for ball one, as Houston Legg will advance to second. 2 outs here. Top of the 4th inning. Pitch comes in for a strike. Evens the count at 1. Pitch is going to be up and out for ball 2.
So that 2017 that you spoke of, was that Greg English? His team?
I think so.
Yeah.
Christian Green
and all
Shaq Mason, all those guys. Yeah, they actually were an out away from the World Series.
Right. Yeah.
And that's back when the region was played in not Warner Robins, but in Florida.
Yeah.
Before they moved it to Warner Robins, as that ball's going to hit Lamb and he'll go to first base. But I think John Bryant had a kid on that team and helped with that team.
He did.
But I think back-to-back years, Coach Tredarius Goff at Columbia Central was on the team the year before that team went, and they were a couple of games away from the World Series or outs away. And, they had a lot of success there. And Greg English was one of my youth coaches in basketball, and just a great man and one of those guys that made me want to be a coach one day.
Yeah, my brother Matthew played for Greg in youth sports. His teammate was James. I was
teammates with Courtney. We graduated together, and Coach English spent a lot of time over here at this ballpark for many, many years. 2-0 count here to Marisette. That ball's going to get fouled off for strike number 1. 13-0. And the thing is, Lee, we got to come back, or I got to come back. I don't know if you'll be here tomorrow. I got to come back and do this tomorrow.
We're actually, since my 9-year-old all-star team is put out of the district tournament, we put a few kids together. We're going to go play rec ball tournament tomorrow and play local. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be making this.
I understand. Were you going to be in Lawrenceburg or Lewis?
We're going to be in Lewisburg.
Lewisburg, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy and convenient.
We're going to go have a little fun.
Well, while you're over there, get some of that great barbecue from Lawler's.
Got to check that out.
You can thank me tomorrow.
All right. I love good barbecue.
I'm right there with you. That's going to be a strike fouled off there by Hunter Marisette. Brings the count to 3-2. Here with 2 outs, runners on second and third, and that pitch is going to be inside for ball number 4. He's wanting to argue. He didn't think that was ball 4. He's wanting to hit the baseball.
Yeah, he was being aggressive right there. He kind of swung at one that was out of the strike zone. Just being a little anxious. He's wanting to hit.
And guess who comes back up? Big Steve Harden. Hit a 2-run shot in the first inning. Now has bases loaded again.
I think when Big Steve steps up to the plate, everybody pays attention. Because they know what he can do.
That's a hard hit ball. Second baseman didn't want any of it. 1 run will score. That'll be leg. As Lamb comes in and scores. And Marisette comes in and scores. And that extends the lead to 16-0. Again, it's not the pitcher's fault. He's throwing okay. They're just that was not making a play.
Yeah, that was not like the second baseman's got to make a play on that ball right there for Spring Hill. That hurts you pitching there.
Yeah, that's a routine grounder.
Yeah.
From your, and that's against your cleanup batter who's already hit one out of the park. And unfortunately, Spring Hill is not able to get out of that.
I think maybe a little frustration, maybe setting in with Spring Hill a little bit.
Not what they expected, I'm sure.
No. Kids just got to continue to play, keep their head up, play hard, have fun with it.
$16-0 here, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. Pitch swung on and missed by Andrews. Strike 1. Landon Andrews, the pitcher. Had a great game so far. No runs.
Spring Hill has left the left field line wide open, and their outfield has backed up.
Oh,
they got their backs on the fence now.
I'm going to zoom in and show the folks at home what you're talking about. You're exactly right.
Left fielder's going to shift over a little bit more now, but he's still pulled way to the center.
Pitch inside nearly hits Andrews. Ball 1. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. 2-2 count, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th, Rylan Tomlinson, the pitcher. Pitch swung on, hit hard towards third, picked up and thrown, and out number 3 will send us to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Spring Hill's third baseman's made some solid plays.
He has.
He's a good player.
He has. That'll take us to the bottom of the 5th. Columbia 16, Spring Hill nothing. We'll be back right after this.
This is Trip Stoltz, owner and manager at Columbia Ace Hardware. We have changed our store hours to better serve our community. Columbia Ace Hardware is now open from 7 to 7 Monday through Friday, from 8 to 4 on Saturday, and closed on Sunday. Come see us at 112 East James Campbell Boulevard and let us show you customer service that can only be found at Columbia Ace Hardware.
Ace the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And welcome back, everybody. And I thought I was right. I changed the scoreboard to the 5th. It's actually the 4th. So we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Columbia leads 16-0, and this will be it unless Spring Hill is able to score 7 runs here, as number 8, Henry Bennett, will lead things off here. And back to the top of the order, as Andrews will stay in, and he'll strike out Bennett with 3 pitches to begin things here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And 1 out. So Columbia 2 outs away from taking game 1.
Looks
And
like Jason's going to think about pulling Landon here.
And maybe just to give somebody else some experience and just to give him some rest. And looks like Cutler Thurman's coming out of the dugout. I don't know if that means he's coming to the mound. And here's Thurman. And Andrews, I know he's a competitor. I know he wanted to finish that game. I love it. I love the fire.
Yeah.
I love it. He played and pitched a heck of a game. He has nothing to hang his head about. His team's winning 16-0, and Cutler Thurman's going to come in here and get these last 2 outs.
Yeah, and Columbia may be in a situation, too, where some of these guys need to throw just, kind of almost like a bullpen type deal here.
Right.
Get Cutler a few pitches in.
Let him get the nerves and jitters out playing in front of a big crowd like this, because, like you said, Lee, we don't – there's big crowds in the regular season, but there's something special about the 12-year-old All-Stars.
Oh, yeah. Even last week for the 10s, we had some great crowds throughout the year. But, man, for the 10s last weekend, it was amazing. That's one thing I did in one of the huddles was on the Saturday when we played our blue team in the Winners Bracket Finals. I said, I want you to look around at this crowd. Everybody in this park is with Columbia American, and they're all here to watch you play. Like, for that moment, for that 10-year-old, it's huge.
That is. That's, yeah, and those kids are making memories, and you're making memories coaching those kids and your kid. And like we mentioned in the last before the last break, there's just something special about Little League Baseball. As Cutler Thurman, as we mentioned, on the mound here to finish things off for Columbia American. First pitch to number 23, Samuel Bennett, is going to go in for a ball. The second pitch is going to be swung on and foul tip for strike number 1.
Looks like we have swapped catchers also for Columbia.
That's right. Hunter Marisette no longer in the game at catcher. Try to get a number on who's behind home plate there. It could be, is that Gunnar Potts maybe? We'll have to look here in a minute. It's a 2-1 count. And now a 3-1 count to Bennett. That would be ball number 4. So we'll now have a runner on first. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Columbia American leads 16-0. As Ryland Tomlinson come up to bat, who's now pitching for Spring Hill, as the first pitch from Thurman comes in for strike number 1. Well, it smells like somebody's done fired up a Marlboro up in the stands, Lee.
Yeah, I was looking around for it, see exactly where they were here.
Pitch outside for ball one.
Respectfully, I would like for that person to make their way to the parking lot and do that.
It's got a very 1990s, 80s vibe to it.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day when your coach was even maybe smoking a cigarette in the dugout. Yeah.
Absolutely. 2-1 count. To Tomlinson. Here's Thurman. Pitch right down the middle for strike number 2.
Cutler has a little zip on the ball.
He does. Had a good year this year. Struggled at the plate, but tonight, so far, in this All-Star game, really good hit there early in the ball game. And that'll be swung on and missed for strike number 3. He plays a lot of baseball, too.
Yeah.
And he's also one of those kids that's a multi-sport athlete, which I know you're like me. We encourage all kids to play as many sports as they can.
Yeah, I like to see kids play as many as they can. I encourage the high school players at Mount Pleasant, hey, play every sport you want to play. I'll be there to support you.
That's it. You only get to do it once.
One time. There's only going to be a kid one time.
Aaron Davis swings and misses, and man, that one's going towards Line Parkway, and it bounces in Line Parkway and will now end up on the campus of the 4-H Center.
He got a lot of that ball just the wrong way.
There's a lot of excitement on that foul ball.
Yeah.
And that pitch is going to come inside for ball 1. And a 1-2 count here for Aaron Davis, who started the game off as the pitcher for Spring Hill, and he'll swing and miss on strike number 3.
Good change of speed right there, Cutler. It looks like he threw a changeup.
And we'll go back and look at that replay again. He did. Got way out in front of that one. And that's the ball game, folks. Your final score after 4 innings of play. Columbia American 16, Spring Hill nothing. It's not really what I was expecting. But you got to give Columbia credit. It really, like you said, it wasn't because Spring Hill played terrible. Columbia just made a lot of plays.
Yeah.
And hit the ball well.
Columbia hit the ball well, hit it hard. Like I said, Spring Hill didn't make any mistakes till late right there in the fourth. So, you got to come tomorrow. 2 things tomorrow. Spring Hill can't come and think about tonight, and then Columbia can't come tomorrow and overlook Spring Hill.
That's right. And I mean, tell the people, that's one of the toughest things for a coach to tell a team, particularly in baseball. Because how many times have you played a team and you've gone out and you beat them 12-0, and then the very next day you play the same team and they beat you because those guys think that, you know what, they ain't going to touch us.
Yep. You don't get up for teams like that sometimes, and it costs you. If you let teams like that hang around, it could bite you at the end. And, Columbia's got to come prepared, and they got to get up for Spring Hill. Like I said, they can't overlook them, and don't let Spring Hill hang around with them if they, want to have a chance to advance to the state tournament. But it happens quite often,
Well, Lee, I tell you, I really appreciate you joining us tonight. Good luck tomorrow with your 9-year-old team. That's going to be fun to get to go out there and do that tournament with them. And then we look forward to seeing you next weekend as we get ready to cover that Independence Day tournament. And we'll have more details on that in the next week. And we'll also, I'll be back tomorrow night for more action in Game 2 as Columbia looks to win the district tomorrow night and advance to the state tournament. That'll be held in Lexington this year for the 12-year-olds. They'll head to West Tennessee. But Lee, again, it was a pleasure, and I hope to hear more from you on the Front Porch Sports Network throughout this year.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
That's great. That's Lee Williams, coach at Mount Pleasant High School and also director at Columbia Post-19. And he joined us tonight as Columbia American wins tonight's ball game over Spring Hill Little League 16-0 in Game 1 of the best of 3 game series. We'll be back tomorrow for more action and game number 2 right here on the Front Porch Sports Radio Network, also online at KennedyBroadcasting.com. You can follow us on Facebook at WKRM Radio and also our Front Porch Sports Network Facebook page along on YouTube, X, and Twitch. So there's no excuse not to find the game. I'm Clayton Harris for Lee Williams. We'll be back tomorrow. Columbia a winner tonight, 16-0 over Spring Hill. Have a great night.